A very good morning, students. Today we'll be learning about transport, railways and roadways. The use of transport and communication depends upon our need to move through things from place of their availability to the place of their use. Human beings use various methods to move goods, commodities, ideas from one place to another. Transport. Provisions of quality and efficient infrastructure services are essential to realize the full potential of growth impulses surging through the economy. In fact, a well-knit and coordinated system of transport plays an important role in the sustained economic growth of a country. The present transport system of India comprises several modes of transport, including roadways, railways, inland waterways, coastal shipping, and airways. Transport has recorded a substantial growth over the years, both in the spread of its network and in the output of its system. Objectives. In today's class, we will learn about railways, roadways, and the government prominent schemes. Road transport is considered to be one of the most cost-effective and preferred mode of transport, both for freight and passengers, keeping in view its level of penetration into the populated areas. Roads in India connect village to village and village to urban centers. Thus, it is vital for economic development and social integration of the country. Moreover, roads offer door-to-door service and their construction can be undertaken even in areas of difficult terrain and steep slopes. About 85% of the passenger and 70% of the freight traffic are carried by roads every year. Road transport is relatively suitable for shorter distance travel. Road transport has emerged as a dominant segment in India's transportation sector with a share of 4.5% in India's GDP in 2005 and 6. The road transport sector accounts for about 87% of the passenger traffic and 60% of the freight traffic movement in the country. Easy availability, adaptability to individual needs, and cost savings are some of the factors which go in favor of road transport. Road transport also acts as a feeder service to railway, shipping, and air traffic. The movement of goods is safer through road transport. They help the farmers to move their perishable commodities like flowers, fruits, milk, and vegetables to the urban markets. The role of roads in the economic development and regional planning cannot be underestimated. India's national highways constitute about 2% of the road network. National highways are regarded as the arteries of the country's economy. With effect from April 1, 1947, under an agreement with the then existing provinces, the Government of India provisionally accepted entire financial liability for the construction, development and maintenance of certain highways in the provinces which were considered suitable for the inclusion in a system of national highways. After independence, Parliament has the exclusive power of legislation with respect to highways which are declared as national highways. National Highways Act of 1956, which came into force from April 15, 1957, declared certain highways as national highways and vested all national highways in the central government. The Act also empowered the central government to declare any other highway as national highway or omit certain highways from the list of the national highways. Further, this Act makes the central government responsible for developing all national highways and maintaining them in proper repair in respect to the function in regard to the national highways. The central government is authorized to entrust this function to any authority subordinate to the central government or the government of the states within which the highway passes. The central government can also lay down rules to provide for the manner in which any function in relation to development or maintenance of these highways are to be exercised, as also to provide any other matter. After independence to India, Ministry of Road Transport and Highways is primarily responsible for development and maintenance of national highways. The criteria for state roads for declaration as new national highways includes roads running through length and breadth of the country connecting adjacent countries, national capitals with state capitals, mutually the state capitals, major ports, non-major ports, large industrial centers or tourist centers, roads meeting very important strategic requirement in the hilly and the isolated areas, arterial roads which enable feasible reduction in travel distance and achieve substantial economic growth thereby. Roads which help opening up large tracts of backward areas and hilly regions other than strategically important ones, achieving a national highways grid of 100 km, etc. For the purpose of construction and maintenance, road network is classified as national highways, state highways, major district roads and rural roads. The road network comprises national highways or expressways, state highways, major district roads, other district roads and village roads. The breakup is national highways or expressways. 1,34,380 kilometers have been covered through this. State highways have covered 1,54,814 kilometers. Other roads, which include the major district roads, other district roads and village panchayat roads, 56,08,477 kilometers, totaling to 58,97,671 kilometers. NH44 is the longest national highway in India with a length of 3,745 kilometers. It connects Srinagar to Kanyakumari. Expressways offer a superior highway facility with more lanes, better surface, divided carriageway, controlled access grades, separations at the crossroads and fencing, etc. The Ministry of Road Transport and Highways was formed in 2009 by bifurcating the erstwhile Ministry of Shipping, Road Transport and Highways into two independent ministries. Road transport is a critical infrastructure for economic development of a country. It influences the pace, structure and pattern of development. The Ministry of Road Transport and Highways is the apex body formulation and administration of the rules, regulations and laws relating to road transport and transport research. It encompasses construction and maintenance of national highways, administration of the Motor Vehicles Act of 1988 and Central Motor Vehicles Rules 1989, National Highways Act of 1956 and the National Highways Fee, Determination of Rates and Collection Rules 2008, formulation of broad policies relating to road transport, environmental issues, automotive norms, etc., besides making arrangements for movement of vehicular traffic with neighboring countries. The capacity of national highways in terms of handling traffic, that is a passenger and the goods, needs to be in tandem with the industrial growth. India has about 58.98 lakhs kilometers of road network, which is the second largest in the world. This comprises national highways, expressways, state highways, major district roads, other district roads and village roads. The ministry has been entrusted with the responsibility of development and maintenance of national highways. All roads other than national highways in the states fall within the jurisdiction of the respective state governments. In order to assist the state governments in the development of state roads, central government also provides financial assistance out of the Central Road Fund and the Interstate Connectivity and Economic Importance Scheme. The programs of the Ministry for Roads Development are NHDP, which is the National Highways Development Project, Bharatamala Pariyojana, Setu Bharatam and Char Dham Mahamarg Vikas Pariyojana. Development and maintenance of the national highways. The government is implementing National Highways Development Project, the largest highways project ever undertaken in the country since 2000. The NHDP is mainly being implemented by the National Highways Authority of India and the National Highways and Infrastructure Development Corporation Limited. The NHDP was mainly being implemented by National Highways Authority of India and is spread over 7 phases with an estimated expenditure of about 6 lakh crore. Some of the major national highways constructed under this program include Golden Quadrilaterals connecting 4 major metropolitan cities, which are Delhi, Mumbai, Chennai and Kolkata. North, South and East, West corridors connecting to Srinagar to Kanyakumari and Silchar to Porbandar with a spur from Salem to Kochi, road connectivity of major ports of the country to national highways. The remaining works in NHDP have now been subsumed under the ministry's new flagship program, which is Bharatamala program. National Highways Authority of India, NHAI. National highways are the arterial roads of the country for interstate movement of passengers and goods. They traverse the length and the width of the country, connecting the national and state capitals, major ports and rail junctions, and link up with border roads and foreign highways. The total length of the national highways, including the expressways in the country, is 1,32,499 kilometers, while highways, expressways constitute only about 1.7% of the length of all the roads. They carry about 40% of the road traffic. To develop, maintain and manage the national highways, the Parliament enacted the National Highways Authority of India Act of 1988. National Highways Authority of India came into existence with effect from June 15, 1989. However, it was operationalized only in February 1995. Section 11 of this Act provides for vesting in or entrustment to the authority of such national highways or any stretches thereof which the central government may notify from time to time in the official gazette. NHAI is entrusted to, among other things, develop, maintain and manage national highways vested in it, collect fees on national highways, regulate and control the plying of the vehicles for its proper management, develop and provide consultancy and construction services in India and abroad, and carry on research activities in relation to the development, management and maintenance of the highways or any other facilities thereat. National Highways Development Project. The NHDP is a project to upgrade, rehabilitate and widen major highways in the country to a higher standard. The project was started in 1998. This project is managed by NHAI under the Ministry of Road Transport and Highways. Golden Quadrilateral. It comprises construction of 4x6 lane high density traffic corridor to connect India's 4 big metro cities, which are Delhi, Mumbai, Chennai and Kolkata. With the construction of the Golden Quadrilateral, the time, distance and cost of movement among the mega cities of India will be considerably minimized. North-South and East-West corridors. North-South corridor connects Srinagar and Jammu and Kashmir with Kanyakumari in Tamil Nadu, including Kochi, Salem, Spur, with 4,076 km long road. The East-West corridor connects Silchar and Assam with the port town of Porbandar in Gujarat with 3,640 km of road length. Mandate. NHAI is mandated to implement National Highways Development Project, which is India's largest ever highways project in a phased manner. The national highways have a total length of 1,32,499 kilometers to serve as the arterial network of the country. Although national highways constitute only about 2% of the road network, it carries 40% of the total road traffic. Rapid expansion of the passenger and the freight traffic makes it imperative to improve the road network in the country. Accordingly, Government of India launched major initiatives to upgrade and strengthen national highways through various phases of NHDP. National Highways Authority of India is mandated to implement NHDP, which is India's largest ever highways project in a phased manner. Advantages of NHDP. Advantages of having a well-developed network of world-class highways are many for a nation like India poised to surge ahead. Savings in vehicle costs, operating costs, benefits to trade, especially in movement of perishable goods, faster, comfortable journeys, reduced maintenance costs, reduced fuel consumption, safer travel, all-round development of the areas. Now let's understand the government scheme, which is the Bharatamala Pariyojana. Bharatamala is a proposed umbrella scheme for development of state roads along coastal border areas, including connectivity of the non-major ports. Backward areas, religious and tourist places connectivity program. Setu Bharatam Pariyojana, which is for the construction of about 1500 major bridges and 200 rail over district headquarters connectivity scheme for the development of about 9,000 kilometers newly declared national highways. This program is targeted for completion by 2022. Bharatamala Pariyojana, the ministry has taken up detailed review of the national highways network with a view to develop the road connectivity to border areas, development of coastal roads including road connectivity for non-major ports, improvement in the efficiency of the national corridors, development of economic corridors, inter-corridors and feeder routes along with integration of the Sagamala etc. under Bharatamala Pariyojana. The Bharatamala Pariyojana envisages development of about 26,000 km length of the economic corridors, which along with Golden Quadrilateral and North-South and East-West corridors are expected to carry majority of the free traffic on the roads. Further, about 8,000 km of the inter-corridors and about 7,500 km of the feeder routes have been identified for improving effectiveness of the economic corridors, Golden Quadrilateral and North-South and East-West corridors. Bharatamala Pariyojana, India's largest infrastructure program, was envisioned in 2017 to develop 34,800 kilometers of national highway corridors connecting 600 plus districts in the nation. The program signaled a paradigm shift to corridor approach of infrastructure development. The overall network of the nation was reimagined through scientific studies including origin, destination study of freight movement across 600 districts and crow flight alignment for optimized route to reduce transit time. Through deployment of automatic traffic surveys and satellite mapping and imagery to identify the upgradation requirements of the corridors. Bharatamala Pariyojana focuses on development of 24,800 kilometers of dedicated expressways, access controlled economic corridors and associated feeder routes, coastal and port connectivity, border and international connectivity corridors. In addition, 10,000 kilometers of ongoing NHDP projects are envisioned as part of the overall program, which will cover a length of 34,800 kilometers. National Highways and Infrastructure Development Corporation, the NHIDCL, is a fully owned company of the ministry that exclusively carries out the task of construction or upgrading or widening of the national highways in parts of the country which share international boundaries with the neighboring countries in order to promote regional connectivity with neighboring countries on a sustainable basis. Indian Academy of the Highway Engineers, Indian Academy of Highway Engineers is a registered society under the administrative control of the ministry. It is a collaborative body of both central and state governments and was set up in 1983 with the objective of fulfilling the long felt need for training of the highway engineers in the country both at the entry level and during the service period. Major initiatives: national highways constitute just 2% of the country's road network but carry 40% of the traffic load. The government is working hard to augment this infrastructure both in terms of length and quality. There are plans to expand the network of national highways so that all parts of the country have an easy access to it. State highways. These are constructed and maintained by the state governments. They join the state capitals with the district headquarters and other important towns. District roads. These roads are the connecting link between the district headquarters and the other important nodes in the district. They account for 14% of the total road length of the country. Rural roads. These roads are vital for providing links in the rural areas. About 80% of the total road length in India are characterized as rural roads. Other roads include border roads and the international highways. The Border Road Organization was established in May 1960 for accelerating economic development and strengthening defense preparedness through rapid and coordinated improvement of strategically important roads along the northern and the northeastern boundary of the country. India has the third largest rail network in the world after United States of America, China. Railways connect different parts of the country. The total length of the Indian railways presently is around 67,368 kilometers. Indian railways carry 2 crore people on 18,000 trains daily. Indian railways have grown into a vast network of 7,030 stations spread over a route length of 63,974 km with a fleet of 8,593 locomotives, 51,030 passenger services vehicles, 6,505 after other coaching vehicles and 2,19,931 wagons as on 31st March 2010. Railways had a target of laying 4,100 kilometers in 2018-19. About 30% of the route kilometer, 41% of the running track kilometer and 41% of the total track kilometer is electrified. About 85% of the total railway route is in the broad gauge, 11.3% in the meter gauge and only 3.7% in the narrow gauge. They provide the principal mode of transportation for freight and passengers. Thus, they unite people from the farthest corner of the country and make possible the conduct of business. The process of industrialization and economic development has also been accelerated with the help of railways. The railway system started in India in 1853 when the first railway line between Mumbai and Thane, a distance of 34 kilometers, was inaugurated. This was followed by the opening of another railway line between Kolkata and Raniganj in 1854 and Chennai and Arakonam in 1856. The railway development was, however, quite fast after 1900, and a tremendous progress in the development of railways network was made after independence. Rail transport. The railways in India provide the principal mode of transportation for freight and passengers. It brings together people from the farthest corners of the country and makes possible the conduct of business, sightseeing, pilgrimage and education. The Indian Railways have been a great integrating force during the last more than 165 years. Rail transport, Indian Railways network is one of the longest in the world. It facilitates the movement of both freight and the passengers and contributes to the growth of the economy. Mahatma Gandhi said the Indian Railways brought people of diverse cultures together to contribute to India's freedom struggle. It has bound the economic life of the country and helped in accelerating the development of industry and agriculture. Indian Railway was introduced in 1853 when a line was constructed from Bombay to Thane covering a distance of 34 kilometers. The growth of Indian Railways in the 165 years of existence is thus phenomenal. It has played a vital role in the economic, industrial and socio development of the country. The length of the Indian Railways network was 66,030 kilometers as on 31st March 2015. Now the network runs multi-gauge operations extending over 67,415 route kilometers. The size of Indian Railways fleet of locomotive stock in March 2019 consisted of 39 steam, 6,049 diesel and 6,059 electric locomotives. As on March 31st, 2019, the size of the Indian Railways wagon fleet consisted of 2,89,185 units, 1,65,254 open high-sided. About 1,029 old coaches were given midlife rehabilitation, which brought substantial improvement in the condition of the flooring, toilets and other passenger amenities. 42 loco sheds and 214 carriage and wagon cycle lines and central repair depots provide repair and maintenance facilities for the entire fleet of the rolling stocks. Railway electrification. With a view to reduce the dependence on the imported petroleum-based energy and to enhance energy security to the country as well as to make the railway system more eco-friendly and to modernize the system, Indian Railways has been progressively electrifying its rail routes. In pre-independence period, electrification remained confined to 388 route kilometers, and it is the only in the post-independence period that further electrification was taken up. Since then, there has been no looking back, and the Indian Railways has slowly but steadily electrified its routes. By March 2019, electrification was extended to 34,319 kilometers out of the total rail networks of 67,419 railway kilometers. This constitutes 50.91% of the total railway network. Regarding 50.91% of the route kilometer, 61.62% of the running track kilometer and 62.30% of the total track kilometer is electrified. Its very large size puts a lot of pressure on the centralized railway management system. Broad gauge. The distance between the rails and the broad gauge is 1,676 meters. The total length of the broad gauge lines was 60,510 kilometers in March 2016. Next is the meter gauge. The distance between the rails is 1 meter. Its total length was 3,880 kilometers in March 2016. Next comes the narrow gauge. The distance between the rails in this case is 0.762 meters or 0.610 meters. The total length of the narrow gauge was 2,297 kilometers in March 2016. Konkan Railway, one of the important achievements of the Indian Railways has been the construction of the Konkan Railway in 1998. It's a 760 kilometer long rail route connecting Roha in Maharashtra to Mangalore in Karnataka. It is considered an engineering marvel. It crosses 146 rivers, streams, nearly 2,000 bridges and 91 tunnels. Asia's largest tunnel, which is nearly 6.5 kilometer long, also lies on this route. The states of Maharashtra, Goa and Karnataka are partners in this undertaking. Areas around towns, raw material producing areas, and of plantations and other commercial crops, hill stations and cantonment towns were well connected by railways from the British colonial era. these were mostly developed for the exploitation of the resources. After the independence of the country, railway routes have been extended to other areas too. The main objectives of the railways planning have been to develop the transport infrastructure to carry the projected quantum of traffic and meet the developmental needs of the economy. Since the inception of the planned era in 1950 to 51, Indian Railways have implemented several 5-year plans apart from annual plans in some years. During the plans, emphasis was laid on a comprehensive program of system modernization. With the capacity being stretched to its limits, investments of cost-effective technological changes have become inescapable in order to meet the ever-increasing demand for rail transport. Along with a major thrust directed towards rehabilitation of assets, technological changes and upgradation of standards were initiated in important areas of track, locomotives, passenger coaches, wagon bogie designs, signaling and telecommunication. Transport is the wondrous marvel of the modern era. It has changed the way the society interacted. Large distances could be traversed easily. Human interactions reached a new peak. Roadways and railways are the foremost form of transportation. Their appeal lies in their easy accessibility to common man. Today, we have learnt about various divisions within these railways and roadways and also certain government schemes associated with them.